Hello, it's the Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. So today I've got 3 videos for you in the Tier 8 Soviet tank destroyer premium tank, the SU-130PM. Now, as the video title will tell you, this is the third mark video, so we've got a couple of replays leading up to the third mark and then the game where we actually achieved the third mark of excellence. If you'd like to see the equipment and crew setup I'm running on this tank, you will see that at the bottom of the screen now. So here we are for the first replay then on Mountain Pass, where we are in Tier 8 matchmaking, so we are top tier. There's 2 enemy light tanks and no enemy artillery in this lobby. So initially we've gone to sort of standard tank choice spot, just so we can get any early damage on the cross. And we get a nice shot in there, rolling for 459, which is actually a low roll. I mean, this tank has 520 alpha, and the gun is very, very scary, actually. You can pick up a lot of damage with this gun. And I must admit, this is a tank I really enjoyed free marking. I've had a lot of fun. You've got 7 degrees of gun depression. I think I've got the reload down to about 10 around 10 seconds, with 520 alpha, a decent DPM of 3078. So you can pick up a lot of damage in this tank. You've got AP rounds as your standard with 240 penetration with 1030 shell velocity, and you then got your heat shells with same shell velocity but for 320 alpha on your premium rounds. So we pushed across on Mountain Pass, and that, just because of the way I got detected, I didn't want to eat any damage. And I felt like I had so many tanks behind me, I might be able to push across this ridge and potentially light up so many of these tanks and maybe pick up a bit of assistance damage. If not, just trying to sneak these shots in like we're doing, picking up our first kill of the game. And put ourselves on to about 1,200 damage now with about sort of 700 assistance. Enemy heavy tank has dropped down behind us, so I've had to sort of turn to put a shot into that tank, and hopefully I should be able to finish him off if he doesn't get taken out by our friendly team. He does get taken out of our friendly team, but if you now pay attention to the mini-map, it looks like the majority of the enemy team have pushed straight round the opposite side and are starting to make their way to our cap circle. So I need to kind of do something about this, otherwise we can end up getting capped out. It is still a very close game, but I'm hoping I can cut through the middle here and actually come behind the enemy team and try and catch some of these tanks off guard and get a nice juicy shot into them. So first we've got this enemy turtle here. Obviously got to be careful of that tank with the derp gun. I don't want to lose all my hit points to it. We put 1 shot into him and puts him onto a 2 shot. I could actually probably pen him with the HE. You've got 65 penetration on the HE round with 660 alpha, so you can get some funny meme shots of that at times. But we're able to take out the turtle there, or the tank. I mean, it's the same tank. Put us onto 3,000 damage now, and now coming behind the rest of the enemy team to try and pick up some damage. I mean, this tiger's still not really turned for us. It's allowed us to put a nice shot into the rear of the tank. Another one of those might even set them on fire. But yeah, just trying to come around now, just clean up and try and get as much damage as we can. Thankfully, the enemy team are kind of in a situation where they've got a tank on the hill shooting down on them, and they've also got us now, coming behind them to get some shots in. So we get 1 shot into that tiger, putting the tiger onto a 1 shot, allowing our friendly tiger 1 to then finish him off. And now it's just these 2 tanks. I mean, it's still a close game, to be fair, 8 versus 7. But I just felt like we put ourselves in a good position. Got this Tiger P, put a shot in there, putting the Tiger P onto a 1 shot, putting us into 4,200 damage now with 2 kills. Still got a very healthy tank in front of us, though, which is good for us because there's a lot of hit points. First thing we do is going to take out the enemy Tiger P. Now, what I really want to do is our friendly Tiger, who is full health, just to go in and just start trading some shots of this tank, because I don't really want to eat any more shots of this Absolution, but I'm just going to go in now because I want to get as much of the damage, so I'm just going to have to eat the shells, because I can't stand around and waiting all this time. I just want to come in and get the damage. So we come in, we get a shot in. He's now a 1 shot to our Tiger. I'm expecting our Tiger to finish him off. If he doesn't, I will finish him off myself once I finish reloading. But he does get the kill, and we've got an enemy, a medium tank, coming behind us now. So we're turning our attention. I want to get 1 nice big shot left into this tank, into the Indie Panzer. We do, and putting the Indie Panzer onto potential 1 shot to us now. He's driving straight past us, which is handy for us. I mean, he's got tanks everywhere, to be fair to him. And we do get that last shot in, bringing this end to replay number 1. Putting us on to just shy of 6,000 damage and 4 kills, 2,068 base XP, 700 assistance, and getting the ace tanker and the high caliber. So that's it for replay number 1, but let's move on to the second replay of the video. Yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so here we are for the second replay then on steps, where we are top tier again, tier 8 matchmaking. This time we do have an artillery to contend with and 2 enemy light tanks. Now I must admit, steps is a good map I enjoy playing, and we're going to just try and push down from this spawn and this setup. It is team destruction, so we don't actually have to worry about being capped out. We're going to push straight down this 8-9 line and see if we can get any early damage on anything which may potentially try and cross. We do kind of have on this spawn, this setup, have the advantage down this side of the map, so you can take this as early as possible, and then we can get some side shots in any tanks that do get spotted. We get a nice shot in, starting the game off well. Always nice when you just pick up that early bit of damage and assistance when you're going for your third mark of excellence. It gets taken out before we're able to put our second shot in, but we do pick up a tiny bit of track assistance. So now again, enemy object is caught out in the open. Get a lovely shot in, damaging his engine. This tank gets set on fire quite a lot, that object 416. So we get another shot in, good chance we'll set him on fire. Go for the blind shot on the bush. We saw an enemy tank was spotted there. Wasn't able to pick up any damage in that time of asking. But so far it looks like quite a few of the enemy team were pushed down the 1-2 line, so I'm trying to just get as much damage in as I can, then thinking about probably coming up and either trying to push and come behind the enemy team or come back, basically. You know, you've got to make that decision. Also, we don't have to worry about being capped out because it is team destruction, so I don't obviously have to concern myself with going back to defend the base. But I'm just going to push across now, because you can see where our friendly light tank is. It's kind of cleared a path, and I want to just try and push up as quickly as I can to get to that damage. There is an enemy light tank crossing the open. We get a lovely shot in there, sets him on fire, and he then gets finished off by our friendly IS-3, which is good because that takes out a top tier light tank, and that's obviously going to make our life a lot easier. And you see most of the tanks are on the 1-2 right now. I need to try and kill this tank here, the Object 416, as quickly as we can. So I don't really like being sat where I am right now, just because these tanks on the 1-2 try and poke up that ridge. They can potentially catch me out in the open and get shots onto me. So I want to try and get out of this situation, but I really need that Object 416 to die. But that has now happened, so now we can try and push up. I'm going to try and get a shot into this enemy TD in front of us, which I think now gets taken out. We're on about 2,600 damage now, 1,000 assistance. Still an even game though, 12 versus 11, but there's also quite a lot of hit points left in this game. We've got rear shots into this Diamondback, put a nice shot in, which again damages his engine. He has now got behind some hard cover, so we don't have any shots at them. But if he pulls back round that cover, we'll have some shots. So looking like we've kind of, it's hard to judge. We might have lost the 1-2 line. We do still have a few tanks there though, so if we can win this side quickly, we can come back round and get some shots in. We get a shot in the Tiger. He's now just pulled back. He's around that cover. He's a one shot to us now. So we're just going to wait for this reload to come off. We're happy to trade another shot with this Tiger in order to finish him off. Unfortunately, we do low roll though and leave him on 6 hit points, but he should get taken out by our friendly SU-130, which he does. Bringing us to a 9 versus 8, putting us onto 4,200 damage with 1,000 assistance. Try and get a nice shot into Diamondback, which I do, leaving him on a 1 shot, putting us onto 4,700 damage. With still 8 tanks remaining, so it's a 9 versus 8. This game is close, but I'm just thinking, there's quite a lot of hit points left. I'm already having a decent game. So I'm going to try and get as much as we possibly can. Unfortunately, I bounced a shot of the Emil, which was disappointing, but I may get another opportunity to get a shot in. We do, putting him onto a 1 shot. I'm expecting him to get taken out now. If not, I might be able to get another shot into him. Enemy artillery gets spotted. We should be able to pick up the shot in here, picking up another one, put us on the just shy of 6,000 damage, and also picking up a bit of track assistance now. I'm just waiting to see if we had any opportunity to shoot that Diamondback in the mill. But I'm probably going to have to start pushing across. I just wanted to be a bit careful. I don't want to throw this game, Although it's 8 versus 5 and it's looking very likely that we're going to get the win, just want to be careful because, strange things can happen. But we're looking at this map, we've kind of got the enemy team pincered at the moment, so they don't have a lot of areas to go. A lot of these tanks, I'm just checking the hit points as you see there, seeing who has the most hit points left, but most of them are on a one shot now. We haven't actually picked up any kills, although we've picked up about 6,000 damage. We've got no kills as of yet, but we're going to try and close in. We should be able to get the kill shot here on that Emil. Unfortunately, he turns his turret at the wrong time and it bounces, which is not ideal because I'm kind of, don't want to get clipped out by this Emil here. But I'm moving to this hard cover, so I've got a bit of, a bit of safety to get behind. We're able to pick up the kill though, put us on to our first kill of the game with 3 tanks remaining. We kind of remember the Diamondbacks are one shot to us. We're not entirely sure the hit points of the other tanks yet. We're going to try and finish off this Diamondback. He's not paying his attention to us, and we should be able to pick up the kill here. But he gets taken out by our friendly much before we get a chance. We get shot by the enemy Italian tank destroyer, but then we snap a shot in, picking up the kill. Just this one remaining huntsman. Can we pick up one last shot of damage? And we do, picking up our 3rd kill of the game, bringing us to 6,500 damage and 1,500 assistance. So we're having a really nice game there on steps, getting 2,200 odd base XP, 3 kills, 6,500 damage, getting the high caliber and the ace tanker. So that is it for replay number 2, with one final replay to come, the one where we achieve our 3rd park. So let's move on. Okay, so we made it to the final replay, the one where we achieved the 3rd marks. Funny enough, it's on Mountain Pass again for the same spawn of the first replay. This time it is Team Destruction and it's tier 9 matchmaking with 1 enemy artillery and 1 enemy light tank. It does play a fairly similar, it plays very similar to the first replay, which is quite funny. But this is the one where we achieve our 3rd mark, so this is obviously the replay we're going to use. So initially, I'm just going to push to the same position, see if anything gets spotted crossing. We can just get any early damage in. Unfortunately for me, our enemy light tank is pushed across aggressively, which is going to make it more likely for us to get detected. But right now, he's just hiding behind that right-hand side. He doesn't have vision on us. But I do get spotted when I fire anyway into this huntsman. But I wasn't able to pick up any damage. Just waiting for a loser spot. Now this is a risky position to play in a tank destroyer because you can get blind fired, and obviously a lot of tanks are already going to be pre-aimed in this location. So it's something you've got to be very, very wary of. But if you look at our tanks right now, we've pushed very aggressively down the 1-2 line, already sort of taking that area of the map. So I kind of feel, again, this may have the same sort of outcome where tanks are going down the sort of 6 line, just with our tanks' positions at the moment and what's been spotted, or what's not been spotted, I should say. But with our friendly light tank crossing up the top, we're just going to wait and see if he spots anything. He does spot a couple of tanks. I put a nice shot into the charioteer there, and we're just waiting now for the reload to see if we can get any early damage. There's actually 3 tanks which are on the bridge, but they should get shot by our tanks on the left-hand side of the map, really, if they're crossing that location. Going to try and get a shot into this enemy tank if it crosses it out in front of us. It does, putting us onto about 1,000 hit points there, 1,000 hit points, 1,000 damage. Again, just waiting for the reload to try and pick up any damage here. Like I say, at the moment the enemy team are kind of distracted by the medium tank, which is underneath their ridge. So obviously every time he pokes, he's going to spot stuff, which means they're not really poking anymore. And I'm going to try and push into the middle again to see if I can get any tank shots on these tanks which are pushed down the 6 line. And hopefully again I can catch some of those tanks out while they're not paying attention and get some shots in. So we do get a nice shot into the Panther there. Unfortunately we eat one in return, but yeah, I'm quite happy to trade shots with this tank just because kind of the beauty of this, when you have that big alpha, you can do that, especially when you're fighting a tank which has lower alpha than yourself. Enemy tank destroyer is looking at us. We get a nice shot in through the cupola there. Obviously that thing has a rapid reload, but I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can. I think at the moment, I'll be honest, I wasn't that far off to the 3rd mark of excellence, and I was kind of thinking I probably only needed about sort of 3,600 and 3,000, maybe 700, and I probably would have 3rd marked it. So I was just trying to get that damage and shots in, and just get to that point as quickly as I could. So I'm on about 2,600 damage now. Still, again, I guess it's a fairly even game at the moment. We do have the tank advantage, but only slightly. Going to try again and get another shot into this enemy tank destroyer there, but he's pulled right round the corner. But I should be able to finish him off before he escapes and then get into cover to protect myself from that Panther by using this ridge here, because I have friendly tanks starting to push alongside with me now. Got this friendly medium tank in front of us, friendly Ragnarok, who is now pushing up, and I'm going to try and back this Ragnarok up. I know there's at least 2 tanks around this location. Should be able to squeeze a shot into the Panther. Unfortunately, I only track him in place, but I'm hoping to pick up some track assistance for that, which we do, putting us on to about 800 assistance now. The Panther is a one-shot to us. I'd like him to get finished off so I could get a shot into the tank, which has a little bit more hit points. The Sturm Tiger P has fired. Obviously, that tank could one-shot us, but we're able to put the shot through the drive wheel. Maybe I'll get taken out by our friendly Ragnarok, but I'm guessing the Ragnarok is on reload at the moment, but it should be coming off reload shortly. So we're on about 3,500 damage. There's only 4 tanks remaining. I'm going to try and come behind this tank, which is heading towards our base, because I suspect there's another tank with him, or I think there is, but if not, there is a tier 9 heavy who is full health, and I just want to try and get a couple more shots. And like I say, at this point I probably need, there's another pen, and I'll probably free market, maybe get 2 pens just to be sure. Should be able to get a nice rear shot into this tank here. We make sure we aim it, and we do pick up a shot, putting us on to about 4,000 damage, and we're now going to continue our push towards this tank. At this point in the game, I think this game is probably won, but I guess you never be so sure. 6 versus 3, you can come back from that. But I'm just going to try and push up. He has managed to kill our tank in front of him, but we have another medium tank coming with us now. So with the 2 of us in this 2v1, we should be able to take him out, even if he is a tier 9. Heavy tank, with the 520 alpha of this tank, you just pick up so much. It's basically a 2-shot to us with this tank. The gun on this tank is fantastic. So we're going to try and get a nice shot through the lower plate. We do. Now, the lower plate is actually like a 50-50, even with the good AP pen this has against that tank. So maybe I should swap to the heat shells here. I probably should have done, because I think it hit the pike at the nose and it didn't pen, which is unfortunate. But nevertheless, we finish off with 4,400 damage, around about 800 assistance, and we do achieve the 3rd mark of excellence. So that is it for the replay. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight! Hadouken!